What happens when you have the chairman of the board of directors, board of governors at CALLERLAB on your panel? They're not here. Because they're undoubtedly busy doing other things. All right, good afternoon. This is the 44th CALLERLAB convention in Mesa, Arizona. And today is the 10th. Thank you. Of April, and this is the Constructing Basic program. I'm Kris Jensen, and I will be the moderator today. Our panelists are Vernon Jones and
hello, y'all.
And Wade Driver. And we're here today to take 3 basic calls and talk about ways of using them. Talk about how to use them, how to teach them, possible extensions, possible ways of using them without getting too weird. I was going to have Vernon go first because he was doing Grand Square, and I thought that would be fun. But he's not here. I'm going to go before Wade because I think some of the things that I'm going to talk about will lead into what he's doing, because I'm doing Ladies Chain Family and Wade is doing runs.
And you're smart and I'm dumb, so I think this is
And he doesn't have the microphone, so none of that is coming on.
I won't really need one.
Well, for the purposes of the tape, you will. All right, yes, Ladies Chain. And I said I was doing Ladies Chain, and somebody said, well, did you take that because you were the only lady on the panel? And well, I didn't even think about that. So, all right, Ladies Chain. I have a handout. It was a thick handout with lots of information, and so that I thought you could, just sort of go briefly over things. However, it disappeared. So I left it on the table to go off and get the moderator sheet, and it disappeared. So you'll have to get them online, I guess, unless they show up suddenly. So the Ladies Chain Family, the first thing I put on the handout was the definition. And the Ladies Chain is one of the definitions that's been rewritten by the Definitions Committee. And it has just a lot of information and a lot of things that can help you in using Ladies Chain. So I'm not going to read the whole definition here, but one of the things that I want to point out in it is some of the things that they talk about. They use uncommon or regional applications of Ladies Chain. So if you check the definition, there are lots of ideas, and those are some of the things I'm going to talk about. One of the reasons I took Ladies Chain is because it's a very old call. It's been in square dancing since before modern Western square dancing, basically. And it's used in a number of different dance forms, not just modern Western, contras, English country has similar things. There's Vernon. And so it's an old call, and it's also, the way we use it normally, a fairly limited call. The definition at mainstream requires, because of the courtesy turn, it requires that it be done from normal couples. So basically, Ladies Chain is almost always done from facing boy-girl couples. So, and I wanted to look at other ways of using it. So, thoughts on teaching it. I've never really had any trouble teaching it, particularly if they already know how to do a courtesy turn. My current courtesy turn teach involves using an idea that I got from contra dancing, which is the I'm a little teapot technique. So, ladies, do I'm a little teapot, hand on your waist, left hand up. Gents, reach around.
I got this stuff down.
Yes. Scoop her up, put your hand in her, put your left hand in her left hand, put your right arm around her into her right hand, and scoop her up and turn her around. And for a quick teach, that works really well. In contra dancing, we do quick teaches, but it also works in modern squares. So once they have the courtesy turn down, what I'll usually do is just start with 4 ladies chain, and ask all 4 ladies to make a right hand star, turn all the way around back to your partner. Gents, courtesy turn that lady, because then they're used to courtesy turning their partner, and they're comfortable with that. Then I'll say, ladies, look at that gent over there across from you, so I'm giving the ladies a target. Ladies, star halfway across to that opposite gent. Gents, courtesy turn her, scoop her up. As we start dealing with the fine points, I'll ask the gents to move a little bit to the side so they can easily scoop up the ladies. So the gents have to be active as well as the ladies during the ladies chain. But I find it an easy call to teach. Once they've done 4 ladies chain across, then you can start doing head ladies chain and side ladies chain. And then of course go into facing lines and doing ladies chain and ladies chain across. So those are kind of the standard ways, and teaching it is not difficult, I find. So how about using ladies chain? So first of all, of course, you want to do the standards. Standard ladies chain, that's from a static square, head ladies chain, side ladies chain, all 4 ladies chain, all 4 ladies chain 3/4. Those are all standard things that dancers can do. From facing lines with normal couples, 2 ladies chain. You can do it from other facing normal couples, so from an 8 chain through, you can have the ladies chain, from a starting double pass through, ladies chain in the middle. All of these things are standard as long as you have normal facing couples. Sometimes you should think about the spacing requirements of a ladies chain from an 8 chain through, but generally the dancers will do that. It's easy, sometimes from different positions. It adds some variety. Okay, so what else? You can be sure you set up the flow well. So there are good calls to precede ladies chain, and there are calls that don't work. Obviously right and left through to a ladies chain, great. Reverse flutter wheel to a ladies chain, good flow. You want to do something that will set up the movement for the ladies to start moving across. Flutter wheel to a ladies chain, don't do it. It doesn't feel good. But think about your flow. You can start with neutral flow, but I really like giving the ladies some impetus to do the chaining. But when you're starting in the square set, you don't always get that. So then you can try, so for variations, you can try changing the formation. So how about something like from an alamandar with the gents in the middle? Everybody shoot the star to a ladies chain. Okay, they're turning halfway across. The ladies have a right hand in the middle. They can chain across. That can be nice. You can use some other formations. You can go into the past in square dancing with things like Sicilian circles. Ladies chains work very well when you're doing Sicilian circles. That's couples facing couples around in a circle. And that's actually a good way to teach the call, to work with teaching the call. But any 2 couple type of formations, 4 facing 4 lines, those are called mescalanzas. And so I was looking for ways to use ladies chain that provide variety for both our dancers and even for one night stands. You can use ladies chain and provide some variety. So you can change who's working with whom. And you could do something that feels a little different to the dancers by setting up normal couples in the middle of facing lines. So from a boy-boy, girl-girl line or a half-sashayed lines, the centers are normal couples. So you could do ladies chain there, and that would feel different for the dancers. You can also change who's working with whom and do end ladies chain. So from facing normal lines, end ladies chain across. Okay, center ladies chain to the other center lady. So, and that actually provides a surprisingly different feel for the dancers, and they'll go, oh, that's interesting, I didn't know you could do that. So something like all four ladies chain across, heads lead right, circle to a line, the end ladies chain, the other ladies chain, and you're all back with your partner. So then you have a normal line with your partner. One of the things that they used to do a lot in the past, and we don't do anymore much, and so it can add a surprising amount of difficulty to a basic dance, is head ladies chain to the right. Okay, and that will require the side ladies to be involved. They sometimes will just stand there, but you know, if you say head ladies, point to the couple on your right, get them to pay attention and know what's going on, and then head ladies chain to the right. Okay, so that can add some variety just using a ladies chain. So you could do something like head ladies chain to the right, new side ladies chain to the left, new head ladies chain to the right, new side ladies chain to the left. I think I misread that. Everyone swing your partner and promenade home. So let me do that again and make sure it's accurate here. Head ladies chain to the right, new side ladies chain to the left, new head ladies chain to the left, new side ladies chain to the right. Everybody swing your partner and promenade home. Okay, so then another usage from a static square is heads or side ladies chain 3/4. Side boys courtesy turn that girl and either keep her there or roll her away. And there's a lot of choreography that you can do with that. Really simply, head ladies chain 3/4, side gents turn that girl, roll her away with a half sachet, all join hands, circle to the left, and you're all with your original partner. Allemande left, right left grand. Okay? Or head ladies chain 3/4, side gents courtesy turn her, roll her away with a half sachet. Head gents pass through, both turn to the right, walk around 3. Lines go forward and back. That's a 0 line with your partner. So a lot of fun that you can have with ladies chain. You can slightly modify the call. So you can do a single file ladies chain from a double pass-through setup with the ladies in the center, you know. Ladies do a right pull by, gents courtesy turner. Or the old sneaky chain from right hand waves with the girls looking in. Girls do a right pull by and come up beside the gents courtesy turn the girls. So the gents looking out, the ladies do a sneaky chain, go up beside them and get the gents to courtesy turn them. And then, if you want to, you can go further back into the early days of modern Western square dancing, and there are a lot of routines that use ladies chain. So there was the everybody chain from a squared set. All 4 ladies chain, head boys face right, side gents face left, and do a right pull by to courtesy turn the ladies that are coming at you. Then you repeat that 4 times, and you're all back with your partner. Okay, if you can visualize that one. No? Want to try it with a square? It's something you can look up online. You can go even further back into the past and do routines from traditional square dancing. There's one called the route or the route. And that's one with courtesy turns in different directions and different amounts. So you could say heads lead right and circle to a line. And then forward and back, that's across the set. Down the line, in the same line, is along the set or along the line. So 4 ladies chain across the set, and then 4 ladies chain along the line, 4 ladies chain across the set, ladies chain along the line, and you're back with your partner again. And that's a really old traditional figure. You can find videos of that online, and when you get my handout, there are links to that. And you can go even further back to things like 3 ladies chain, which is put a couple in them. This is an old visiting couple routine. So heads, couple number 1 lead out to the right, circle up 4, all the way around, and then those 2 ladies chain across. And the center gent, number one, instead of turning courtesy turning all the way around, just turn halfway, and then courtesy turn with do it ladies chain with couple number 4, and then turn halfway, do a ladies chain back with gent number 2. So you're just moving across the set. Can you visualize that one? And that's an old visiting couple routine, but it can provide some variety for modern square dancers. All right, I also took chain down the line, and I will just do this very quickly. The variety is in to me, the variety in chain down the line is how you set it up. Okay, so the typical way is heads lead right, veer left, chain down the line, or heads lead right, veer left, couple circulate, chain down the line. So it's done from a right-handed two-face line with the ladies in the middle, and you're restricted to something with the ladies in the middle at mainstream because of the courtesy turn. So I like doing it from a left-handed wave, okay, with the ladies in the middle. So how about Dixie style to an ocean wave, swing through, that's a right and a left, and that leads really nicely into a chain down the line. Okay, and you can set up the left-handed waves by doing runs. So from a normal left-handed two-face line, boys are in the middle, girls are on the ends. Girls run, and then a chain down the line. Okay, it's a nice setup. And if you think about all the ways you can set up either a left-handed wave with the ladies in the middle, or from a left-handed wave, set up a two-face line. You can have a cross run in the middle. And when you pick up my handout, I had a lot of examples of how to set up those kinds of setups. So you could do from an 8 chain through with the girls on the outside, everybody slide through. That sets up a right-handed two-face line, chain down the line. And then another way to vary it would be to have the centers only from a tidal left-handed two-face line. That means the centers have a right-handed two-face line. You could do a centers ladies chain down the line. Okay, and that can provide some variety there. You could also do that from a left-handed tidal wave. Set it up so that the centers can do a chain down the line. And I'm really sorry my handouts aren't here. Come, all right. Maybe they found them. So here they are. You can pick them up afterwards. And are there any questions about chain down the line? Silence. All right. So, yeah, right. So, I think the ladies chain and chain down the line can provide a lot of interest in your choreography, and particularly if you go back to some of the old stuff. By the way, chain down the line was added to the basic list in 1988, so it is not a particularly old call. And Don Beck wrote the call, and it was added. It was used as a quarterly selection for years, I think, before it was added to the list, and then they added it to the list in 1988. All right, without further ado, I'm going to give it to Wade Driver.
Okay, all right.
Nice hand for Kris. Thank you, ma'am. She is one of the best at doing all this stuff. I am not nearly as detailed as she, but I put our calls in normally one of 2 categories. One is a tool, one's fluff. Right? Really, the deuce is fluff. Right? A run or a fold is a tool. A tool is to get you from point A to point B, like an old car. Right? And basically, runs, folds, ladies chain is to get you into a certain change formations, change arrangements, whatever. And run and cross run, the issue is not in the definition. I can question. Honesty time. Honesty time. Before today or anything, how many of you have actually read in its entirety the definition of run and cross run? That's more than I thought. All right? But the problem, the result of that is it's taught very poorly. And the shorter the move, a la run, fold, roll, the quicker, the worse it's taught. Because you think, that's easy, I don't want to spend much time on that. They say, hey, boys, just go on the other side of the girl, you're done. That's just not the way it works. All right? All right? For example, is a run a one-person or two-person call? Two. No, it's not. It's two or more. It's two or more, am I correct? You're the accuracy person, isn't you let me know. Anyway, but that's under the extending application. But under the normal setups, yes, it's two. And we just forget to tell them that, all right? Now, my thing on this call, I mean, reading the definition is about as straightforward as you can get. I'm going from this position to that position, she's going to move over into the thing. But how you say it, and the definition is one thing, and we should pretty much have the definition, if not memorized, pretty much committed to memory, right? But our job is not to do that, not to read that definition to the dancers. These definitions are written for us. Our job is to interpret, all right? And how well you interpret will end up being how well the dancers dance. For example, right? How many times when you say boys run around the girl turns around? Have you had a problem with that? Now, it's not due to the innate sense of the ladies wanting to know what's going on behind them, although that's pretty strong, right? But normally it's because the guy doesn't let go of her hand before he starts to run. And he influences what she does. And then she gets upset, and everybody goes home, there's fighting at home, he got divorced, there's all sorts of stuff going on. All right? It has no any implications. So, first we say, boys run around a girl. Wrong. He doesn't run around her, he runs into her spot. And unless she wants to get walked upon, she gets out of her spot. As simple as that. So now, where did she run? You've got to explain to her, you're going to slide over into the vacated spot. All right? Now, then you got to figure out which vacated spot are you talking about. Our job is to explain that. That's so, but I'm trying to make this humorous, but I'm serious. All right? They've got to go. They use the term runner and non-runner. I use runner and runnee. All right? And if the runner is going to do the active movement and reverse their facing direction. The runnee just gets out of the way without changing facing direction. So the boy's going to run around the girl from a wave, that's which is the easiest way. Our standard easy way to teach, swing through first. Then when the boys run, they end up normal. Yes? All right, because you'll find that in teaching, if you teach from a position where the ending position is normal, you're going to have more success before you move on to other spots. You agree there? Thank you. Okay, good deal. All right, just making sure you. I love that too. I've been teaching Kris for 40 years, so whatever, since she was 3. Anyway, so, but you'd be amazed how many dancers don't realize it is a two-person move. We have to teach that, okay? Even though the definition says it point blank, the caller, too many callers, the point is, well, they know that. I approach teaching, particularly beginners in basics and whatever, as though you're teaching a 2-year-old that knows absolutely nothing except to cry when he does it wrong. All right? And I don't mean to denigrate the dancer at all, but you approach it from that position of they do not know or they wouldn't be there, and you teach that way. So once we can convince them that it is moving from this position into another facing position on the other side, so you have to reverse, then the first step is forward, not sideways. Too many times the dancer doesn't understand, if I'm going this way, I'm going this way right now. You can't. Everything, all of our position moves, whether it be circulates, runs, whatever, are semicircles. They're little semicircles. And halfway to that spot is half a semicircle. So if they take a step forward, then you have nice even flow. So you disconnect, you move over, you take the spot, everything's nice and smooth. Now, the next thing is to say, well, what spot am I going to? You only got 2, near and far. All right? There's only 2. Well, that's not true. It's near and very far. Depends. But seriously, if you do from the basic setup, if you have boys run, you go into the nearest center position. Because you are an end, you're going to the center. If you say cross run, you're going to the farthest center position. You're not going to the other end. That's called a trade. Right? Now, we as callers should know that. Now, backing up to what Kris was doing a minute ago, and I'm doing a little bit now, what my father called when he taught me forever ago, is mental tracking. If as a caller you can't mentally track your flow, you need to go home and study. All right. For example, if I say hit square through 4, swing through, boys, run, bend the line, right and left through, and slide through, you should know where you are. Fact. All right. Now, maybe not quite that quickly, but if you don't, practice. So if I'm up here from a standard 0 box and I say swing through, boys, run. We all know what position we're in. 2-phase line, yes, okay. We know that the number 4 couple is facing out, the number 1 and his opposite, number 3 girl, are facing in, yes. You need to know that, all right? Now, because that puts you ahead of the dancer. And one thing I learned a long time ago, I do not want the dancers knowing more than I do. I want to lose. That happens far too often. So, once you get the idea across from them, if they're going to run from an end, you go to the nearest center. If I want to cross run, I'm going to the farthest center. If you're a center and you cross run, you run to the farthest end. If you're a center and you run, you go to the nearest end. Simple, yes? It's this, I promise you, is all in the teach. Now, extended applications, I'm not quite as nice as Kris. She wrote you a whole bunch of stuff. You can do your own darn choreography. All right? You know what the rules are. But I will give you a couple of just examples. For example, if you swing through boys run, we got a 2-phase line, yes? If you have the boys run around 2, where's he going to be? He's going to be the farthest center position facing out, which is basically a cross run. All right? But I didn't say cross run, I said boys run. I mean the end boy only run around 2. Now I've got boys facing the same direction, and the girls in a wave. Yes. Say yes. Then center girl run. I now have a 2-phase line, same sex partner. Yes. Now if I repeat that, and I say the end girl run around 2, center boy run right, where am I? I'm 0, they ain't going anywhere. You know, which I love that because I know I'm not real smart. It gets me right back where I want to be.
Would you like to see a square?
Yeah.
I'm going, give me a square, all right, please.
Don't get too tired, I'm gonna need you.
That's it. Get on me. I need a loose woman. I need a lady. You, sir, I do not qualify. Oh, okay, there you go. Very good. All right. Head step up and face your corner. Today. Swing through. Patience is not my strong suit. Here we go. Boys run. In boy, run around 2. No. I'm sorry. I'll get back where you were. I said that wrong. I can't even read my own writing. You kidding me? Out facing boy, run around 2. What if I could read? It'd be dangerous, right? Center girl, run. Out facing girl, run around 2. Center boy, run. Center boy, run. What's he run? Wheel and deal. Wheel and deal, come on. See, this is why we call them square dance commands, because they're not optional. And it's just simple as that. Now, for example, let's do a right and left through. I might as well, while I was doing the other place, and veer to the left. That's not where I want to be. That's all right. Couples trade. I can fix that. I know, good. Now, bend the line. I got to figure out. Okay, I didn't even look see whose corner was up. I guess it don't really matter. Start through. I'll figure it out. Touch corner. Centers trade. Centers run. Couples circular. And so far, I haven't had all our runs yet. Okay. Couples hinge. Girls, partner trade. I basically have the same 2-phase line I had before, but each person is made of 2 people. Boys are 2 boys make up 1 boy, 2 girls make up 1 girl. All right? All right? Now, I'm a caller, so I can't say where I am. I can't say in and out because it's all in and out. But I can say nearest boy couple to me run around 2 girls. 4 girls. 4 girls. Come on over here, ladies. All right? Center pair of girls. Run right, run the other 2 girls. All right? Good. How are we doing so far? All right? In girls. run around two pairs. Center boys run around one pair. Bet what? Hello. Whatever. Square says go whatever. The whole point is, this is just stuff you can do to play with. You can write your own, so big whoop. But the nice thing, and if you got, it isn't true about all things, but the nice thing about circulates, runs, the tendency, they are finite. They do not change. Well, they just do not change. It's when I started, I think Vernon was 6, but when his daddy and I started, we only had 12 figures. So everything was directional. Everything was directional. And that's all runs on, they're just directional. You get the rules, and you just do whatever you're told to do. Of course, you got to teach the dancers to listen first, best to the Anyway, and then, y'all go ahead and have a seat, please, thank you. And I do have an opinion, because I have an opinion about every darn thing as well, but those are just two, you can do all sorts of things, but what I would like to ask is that it's on the basic list, but new, basic, and I think most people that are still dancing the basic level can't do the extended applications. They just cannot do it, you know? So if you're doing those type of things with your new dancers, you're just trying to prove to them how smart you are. You're trying to win. And it just shows me how dumb you are, right? If the dancers don't win, you did it wrong. It's as simple as that. So I implore it now, unless you're in maybe one of the European countries where basic is a dance level, then you can just call whatever comes across your mind, all right? But for the general, you'll use really good judgment in the extended applications. But again, the nice thing about runs is the definition is finite. It's never going to change. All right? I'm done. Questions? Good.
Okay, Vernon Jones.
Okay, great. I need a square of 8 energetic people.
We can hear you over here.
All right. Hey, wait, you know that slide fixture right here?
Yes, sir.
You know what it reminds me of?
Don't tell me.
That over
Yes.
there. Hey, Grand Square is one of the, if not the most underutilized call in the basic program, in any kind of that program. Callers don't use it. Now then there are callers that will jump up and say, well, I call it all the time. I've got 45 singing calls that got Grand Square in it. Yeah, that's where you call it, but we don't use it. We don't use it as a tool and a choreographic tool and a provide a little variety tool. We always teach it in our lessons and this, that, and the other, and then once they get it, it goes into the singing call trough, and that never comes out. What couple's face in the Grand Square? Exactly. Most times when you do it, when you talk about Grand Square at the Callers Associations, you say, well, the side space. You know, the definition used to say the definition of Grand Square has the sides doing one thing and the heads doing another thing, and the call starts with side spacing. And the old CALLERLAB definition, that's exactly what the definition used to say, and I think if you look it up in Burleson, that's still what it says. I'm not going to swear to that, but I think that's still what it says. And so it was changed. And so, but normally, 99.9% of the time, how is it called? Grand Square. Why? My question is always why. If you want to provide a little bit of variety, why not start out having the head space, heads couple space your corner, okay? People, hey, not your corner, your part. You know what? You know what I wanted. Face your part.
I did it right last time.
Okay. Now then, new dancers will probably start shaking, and experienced dancers will probably start shaking at this point. Oh my goodness, I don't know how to do a Grand Square from here. Yes, you do. This is the halfway point of side space Grand Square, is it not? You've been down this road before, okay? So, and the reason they start shaking is why, Wade? I'll tell you why. Because we callers don't call it.
That's it.
We don't do this. They have trouble with it, and they're not confident because we don't present it this way. There's nothing wrong with presenting this way. You don't have to get too difficult, so far out that dancers can't do things, to add a little variety. And you certainly don't go to need to go to the next program and start pulling calls down and show them and teach them that to give them variety. Use what we've got. Okay, head couples face back in. Head couples roll away. I teach grand square from this way all the time. Join hands and circle left. And I want you to stop when the head boys get at the when the boys get at the head's positions. And then I want the girls to face. And the dancers will use it. I want the girls to face. Thank you. Okay? What's wrong with teaching grand square from here? Or dancing grand square from here? No, it's nothing. It's a pleasant experience, is it not? Yes, it is. Okay? The same thing could be true if we had the head boys face. Now then, girls face back in. How in the world am I going to get out of this? Well, I'm going to join hands and circle to the left. I'm going to join hands and circle to the left. And then I'm going to have the side couples roll away, and all of a sudden next I'm back into side couples roll away. Now I'm back into something normal. You continue circle lefting after you roll away, don't you? And then I'm going to have the ladies center and the men's sachet, and that puts us all back to partner. And now I didn't say out of man left. And then we're going to join hands and circle left, and we're going to stop when we get back home. And that's one of the things that we can do. Anything wrong with that? Absolutely nothing wrong with that. I know I'm talking a little bit fast, but I've got to get done because I've got to get the buses ready. Thank you very much. They get off the back. Huh? Do what now?
Keep going.
I'm going. Now we're going to get into something that I really like. Head boy, take your corner and go forward and back. And come way back, and the other people face the one beside you. Now then, we're a cattywampus grand square, yes? Yeah. Okay, you want to dance it from here? Sure. Okay. You don't want to dance it from here? Okay. You don't like cattywampus? Well, if we do cattywampus, it'll make the straight wampus. All right. Okay. Okay, the couples, okay, I'm going to give you a beat. The couples, who needs music? The couples dance forward to the middle, then you come on, way on back, and then sometime today, everybody ready? Grand square. Here we go, and now, and you go, and you turn, and you go, and you go, and you turn, and you now, and here we go. You got to roll it round, reverse it now, and roll it round the ring, and then don't get lost. You're doing good, make me look like I know what I'm doing, should do, and now I'm on left with the corner. Girl, oh my, there they are, and then bow to the partner, and there you're home. Okay, good? Okay. Something that you can do very easily, but it wasn't difficult, was it not? No. Okay, good. Boys face.
Girls stand still.
Boys face your partners.
Now, that took a while, didn't it? Yes. Now, if you're a girl, you didn't face, did you?
Nope.
Okay, thank goodness. Okay, we're going to do a grand square from here. Now then, if you want to get ideas like this version, everything that I've done so far is in the CALLERLAB definition. Look it up. It gives these examples. Okay? We're going to do a grand square from here. What's the main rule of grand square? Okay, it's unwritten. It doesn't say it, but if you're close to somebody, what are you going to do? You're going to back up. If you're far apart, what are you going to do? You're going to walk forward. Who's going to walk forward in this instance? All the girls are. Girls. And I teach this. I don't call this gold. I'd be stupid if I called this gold. Okay? But I tell the girls, don't look at that person straight across from you just yet, but look at the girl that's catty-cornered over there. Does it make sense that you don't want to go past her?
Yes.
Huh? Does it make sense? Sure it does. You don't want to go past her. You don't want to take 3 steps and then turn. You want to take 3 square dancing steps. And our square dancing steps are not big, giant steps, are they not? Okay? Good. Boys, what are you going to do? You're going to back up. Now then everybody's got 2 choices on which way to turn. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use you for example. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th step I'm going to turn. Do I want to turn away when there's nobody? No. Or do I want to turn towards somebody? I want to turn towards somebody. I'm going to give you a hint. All 8 of us are going to turn left. Okay? Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, and turn. Now then. No, I didn't say go anywhere. Okay? Again. Who's close together, girls? Who's far apart? Boys, are you close to anybody? No, you're not close to anybody. Okay, so you're going to walk forward. Boys, look at the girl that's to your right, but then look at the girl that's kind of in front of her. Does it make sense you want to pass her? You don't want to pass her. Okay? Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, turn right. Okay? Who's going to walk and who's going to back? Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, turn left. Now then, at this point, you're going to either be backing up or walking forward towards your original starting position or your original home place. Would you agree? Okay, at that point, that's the halfway point. Are you going to turn this one? Ready, go. 1, 2, and you do not turn. Yes? All right. Now then, we're not going to walk anymore. We're going to reverse and go back all the way through without stopping. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, turn right. Go 1, 2, 3, turn left. Go 1, 2, 3, turn right. Go 1, 2, and you should be home. Yep. All right, good. Don't get cocky on me yet. Girl space. Okay. Same rule applies. We're going to do the same thing. Ready? Everybody ready? Grand square. In it, here we go, and you turn right now. In it, here we go, then you turn left now. Then it, here we go, then you turn right now. In it, here we go, do not turn reverse. Go 1, 2, 3, and a turn. Go 1, 2, 3, and a turn. Go 1, 2, 3, and a turn. Go 1, 2, and everybody's back. Yep. Good. Is that a little bit different? Yes, it is. Things that you can use just a little bit different, and it's okay. Head couple star through. And side space. If you read the definition, this example's in here. Okay? We're still going to use the rule of grand square, except everybody's close together. Are they not?
Yes.
So everybody's going to start backing up. Have you noticed, all right, has everybody ever thought that it doesn't make any difference where you start, you still stay on your grand square path? Okay? And there's two people who are going to be using that path, always and forever. This one and that one. Now then, if this one delays any much, is this one going to run into it?
Yeah.
You got to move, don't you? Okay?
Question.
Yes. Hello.
On my.
Mitch Pennell from Colorado. The critical piece here is that if in American square dancing, we do this in 2 to 3 steps instead of 4. These weird applications, if you don't do it in 4, somebody's going to die.
Well, don't die. Okay? Are we comfortable? You want to go all the way through?
Yes.
Ready? Grand square. Go 2, 3, and turn. Go 1, 2, 3, and turn. Go 1, 2, 3, and turn. Go 1, 2. Reverse. Go 1, 2, 3, and turn. Go 1, 2, 3, and turn. What happened? 2, 3, and head square through 3, and you go and you roll it round the ring, and you find the corner. Alabama left with your left hand. Should be home. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes. Did that work?
Yes.
Do you think you might need to teach a little bit before you did that and called that one cold? Sure would. Okay, here's the one that I like to use. Head couple separate and go around one and come into the middle. Don't look at me like I'm an idiot.
Have to think about it.
Huh? And side space. Ready? Grand square. Go 2, 3, and turn. Go 1, 2, 3, and turn. Go 1, 2, 3, and turn. Go 1, 2. Do not turn. 1, 2, 3, and turn. Go 1, 2, 3, and turn. Go 1, 2, 3, and the heads right and left. Grand around your nose. Grand over right. And I screwed that up. I had this plan, Wash. I said everybody right and left grand, everybody had been singing songs to me and everything else. It should have been everybody right and left grand, because the heads were coming in the middle, going right to their partner, the sides were coming right to their partner, and everybody right and left grand. But that just goes to show that everybody screws up, so get off the back. Okay? Any questions on that? It's just a matter of doing some homework, okay? Now then, here's an easy one. Join hands, all eight to the middle, then you come on back, and then and the head 2 couple square through 4, and the side space and grand square and the heads. And listen to me now. Separate and you go around 1, or clover leaf. You come into the middle and pass through. Separate, you go around 1. Come into the middle and the head 2 couple square through 3, 3/4 round. You're looking for the corner. Liddy, she, and Alabama left with your left hand, and then you should be home. Yes? Yeah. All right. Give me both the hands and then do it. Thank you. We did a good job. It's just a matter of taking something and studying it and knowing what to do with it and mastering your craft. We're all professionals. We should know how to do these kinds of things. Not to be throwing at dancers cold on the dance floor, but showing them there's variety that can be had with the simplest of things. So take some time, study your stuff, move your checkers, work your terminations, whatever you choose to do, and learn your craft and become proficient at what you do. Thank you.
Good. Steaks on the grill.
That's
Put
it.
some beer on ice.
Hey, it's chicken.
It just tastes like chicken.
We get half a chicken. It was either a quarter a chicken or for 50 cents more as a half one, so I said, half a chicken.
Big spoon.
All right. Anybody want to share any of the ways they use any of these calls? Any grand square variations that Vernon didn't cover?
Well, I've got 65 more.
You got buses to her.
Okay. How about runs? Yes, back there. Doran.
Doran McBroom from Maryland. I would comment about the runs that there is another consideration you need to make. If you have ocean waves, boys facing out, girls facing in. So as it heads past the ocean, extends single handers, girls are looking out. If you ask the girls to run, that center girl has a decision to make which way to go.
Not really. Do you run into your vacated neighbor or partner's place?
Or partner's place, but she has a decision to make.
Center's not a partner.
Okay. What I try to tell dancers is that she has to consider, she has to allow for both girls to
she
run.
does, yes.
So if somebody's over here, then she's got to allow for that to
Yes.
happen.
And may I reply to that, please? Yes. And
You're right, I was just messing with you, all right? You're absolutely right. And people say, well, I don't want to tell them that. Why? Anything that you can say that will lead to their success is a wise move. All right, he's a good point, because if you square through 4 Dutch quarter, all right, and say girls run, most of the time, yes, they'll know it's to the right. But why don't you say girls run right? It costs you a syllable and it doesn't hurt you a thing. And it amazes me, you say, call a lot. I don't want to give them too much information. Well, why don't you take up bowling?
Okay, yeah.
Ron Dean, Lake Ridge, Virginia. When I'm teaching ladies chain, I review it because it's such a lead into flutter wheel and Dixie style. You know, if they know and they can master ladies chain, and those other 2 calls are not as daunting as they might otherwise be when it comes time to teach them.
Okay, John.
For the microphone, do you want any historic background in the chain down the line?
Sure. So Don Beck is going to give us some history on chain down the line.
Could I have 2 couples up here, please? Don Beck, Massachusetts.
Don's got the mic, dinner's gonna be late.
That's
He's taking it.
only if I speak slowly.
Oh, I see.
Could you veer to the left, please? I'm not going to try and talk as quickly as Vernon was. For years, I used to like the sequence, let's have the centers trade and cast off 3/4. And you guys danced what I called, but most of the dancers I used to call to couldn't do that. Start through, right and left through, veer to the left. And I finally got them to do it this way. Centers trade, courtesy turn till you're facing across. Same movement except you used hands. It's called chain down the line. That was sort of the reason chain down the line came about, was because I liked that movement and I couldn't get dancers to call it, to dance it rather. Let's veer to the left from here. Oh, and when I first called it, or thought of it and used it in an open club as a disposable experimental. I called it chain the line, because they're doing a chain down the line. When I got home afterwards, I thought of it. Now, Kris was talking about from facing lines, two ladies chain across and then chain along the line. It was actually called chain down the line.
It was, but I changed the wording because
It was called chain down the line, and I realized this, what I did here, do a chain down the line. There's nothing but the original chain down the line except from a different formation. So I used the old name, and I didn't claim to create a new call, but just an extension of the old call. And from left-handed waves, it's also something that wasn't done originally. Did you do it from T-Bones?
I did not do it.
Oh, can I have two more couples up? This is something that fits my definition of it, except for the fact I can't seem to get dancers to care to do it. Oh, how am I going to set this up?
What do you want? Just what formation?
I want 4 women in the middle.
In a way?
I don't care. You guys can do where I want.
In the middle, so boys get together, girls get together, girls are going to face each other, and you're in the middle. So you want us facing in?
That's right. Well, whatever way you are, I'll get you where I want you. I'll get you where I want you. Do a pass through and face in. You probably didn't mention, but I think that people do ladies chains from here on, chain on the double track.
Single file.
Okay. Ladies do a touch a quarter, box circulate, chain down the line. Ladies raise, and men reach in and courtesy turn. I shouldn't have had that much trouble setting that up.
Do that again. I'm serious, I don't see it again. I like that, I'm not gonna forget it.
Pass through, tag the line, face right. Where do I want to do this? I don't know. Centers trade, Ferris wheel. Ladies touch a quarter. Oh, so yeah, the ladies in the middle touch a quarter. I could do it from here, but it's overflow. Ladies either scoot back or box circulate. Go box circulate. And so from here, chain down the line. Ladies trade, men reach in and cruise the
That's
turn.
cool, I'll steal that.
It's not stealing when it's a gift. It's all yours waiting, the rest of you too. If you can convince your dancers to do it. It's just another variation of it.
Actually, there was another sort of call idea similar to that that was ruled not a good application by ARC, which was like from a diamond, a right-handed diamond. Ladies chained 3/4 down the line. So the girls would cast off 3/4 and then the boys would courtesy turn them. And that was said that no, you can't do that by ARC. So. So, yes.
I just need someone to whisper what's ARC.
Oh, ARC is the Applications Review Committee, and they take questions from callers or questions about call usages and decide whether that's an allowable usage of the call or not. So, an example where they've changed their mind recently was at one point they said that follow your neighbor from a quarter tag position was not legal, and now it's been changed so that they've decided that no, it is okay, it fits with the call. So, okay. Any other questions? All right, well, thank you all for coming. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Vernon. There you are, getting our chickens cooked and... Oh, the handouts, yes. The handouts up here.
Yes.
You got many of those books?
I've been making my band for all the music. One big towel. I did it over the weekend.
Did you pick up anything else? I taught Phil. I did
Thank you so much for bringing them. I thought it was a good. It was a bonus.
What I want to do just to
But wait, if I do like, I could have danced all night. Right, so I'll do it, but I'll do traditional. I know, then but I'll move my.
And if you leave, you would come up here.
No, it's as traditional as like the middle range.
I know, but I know.
Bring that up in the
That's why.
But let me just say, okay, you'll get a great female song that's made for females, and the guys will amplify it. It's really hard.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, we try to do that.
Right.
You cannot make one, that's all.
Actually, yeah, I can come down south.
No, there's one I just have here that I'll have to choose. It's like, it says someone else is singing it, but it's you.
So now,
Also,
now you both.
We want to get you committed.
right, you're on there.
What's that? I hate this part.
Yeah.
I should have charged the bus.
I think you should. Say, at 29, you want my signature. And rock and roll.
Only for, not for vocal range, but for style purposes, but.
Yeah.
And I think, what was this?
You, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I didn't get it.
No, I gotta go up there.
Why did you get to
But
it?
yes, I know, there's something I think she'll put without, I'll come behind.
Oh,
And try to do it. So to get, because otherwise you guys got your team.
I mean, you asked me, you're gonna get me started.
No, it's fine.
Sometimes there's like.
Yeah,
And I realize it's like.
it's a thrill to see people still want this after 30 years. And if you have any
I would
questions about
I will get with you. Are you on Facebook?
I wouldn't feel about
Facebook or
musicalls.com.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And I was 72, and I listened to some books saying across too.
Oh, okay.
So, all right.
Thank you so much. I know.
You read, do that.
Thank you so much.
But you're doing that
At least they found your stuff.
No, the recording is like one of those songs. They do want to record it, and people said, well, that's because I want to record the first thing there, and take that one and play the two side by side. And then we'll be
Thank you. Take care.
and then the guys with the metal back, so
I
we'll
remember
take
that.
it.
It's all about.
Sure, yeah.
I'm not going to mess with that.
I'm glad, because I.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was
And one of the guys, they just-
and these have been taken last year and the year before? And the guys that are here taking this.
No, we got 8 children.
Yeah.
I tried since it does.
No, that's fine. I tried. I did the shirt and stuff. Where are you staying?
That's basically what the
No, he's-
was trying to do, that simple change, and I never did.
Why change?
Why change now? But, no, we're very nice with you.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, right. They Patty Green and,
Well, I was thinking.
well, it's,
I would do it, but it's like out of town.
Big, huge,
well, that's stuff, antiques and stuff.
Hey,
You know?
just
You know,
you.
it's
Yes,
just
it's
all
me.
this, it's not
Holy
this.
moly!
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
No, it
just-
is, it's during this one.
It's